Welcome to the Time and Date Filters tutorial. Refining your data using time criteria, like dates, is extremely useful, and ThoughtSpot makes it easy to apply these to your searches. In this tutorial, you will learn about time intervals and buckets and time ranges, and how to apply them in ThoughtSpot. You will learn about the differences between absolute and dynamic values, understand the use of date keywords, and finally, see common use case examples in action. Time intervals in ThoughtSpot are basic terms that are really attribute values, so they appear as blue in the search bar, as opposed to the gray that identifies filters. They include the terms of hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly. There is also a detailed term, which is used to show your data at the lowest level of time granularity that the data was captured in. There are a couple of things to note when considering time intervals. The first is in regard to the term hourly, as it is only applicable when data fields contain specific timestamp information. If timestamp data is not configured, it may not always be available. Second, the term quarterly is dependent on the configuration of your custom calendar. By default, it follows the Gregorian calendar, with a first quarter that spans from January to March, but this can be altered through the use of custom calendars to match the needs of your company. More information on this can be found in the documentation online. In addition to time intervals, there are time buckets, which are also considered attribute values. Buckets group time intervals together in logical combinations, including terms like day of week of month, quarter of year, etc. ThoughtSpot will only suggest and allow logical buckets. Something like year of month would not work. As opposed to time intervals and time buckets, which are considered attribute values, a time range is an actual filter. These filters can include both absolute values, with specific date ranges specified, and dynamic values, through the use of keywords. Recall that keywords are terms in ThoughtSpot that automatically understand and apply words like average, hourly, or last month. When you use the keyword last month, ThoughtSpot recognizes the current month you're in and retrieves the data correctly for the month before. A list of all available keywords by language can be found under Help or in the documentation online. As with any other filters, you can layer in multiple ranges or values together. Multiple filters can be applied together as cascading filters, and though very powerful, these scenarios can get quite complex. Further information on these topics can be found in the Business Analyst Learning Path. Let's discuss some common use case examples and demonstrate how they work in ThoughtSpot. First, let's look at some time interval and time bucket examples. In our search bar, we'll start with sales, and now at a simple time interval of monthly. The results are returned. Remember that we can easily toggle between chart and table view here. In either view, you can find a list of all time bucket options. In a chart visualization, we simply click on an axis title and find the time bucket options. Selecting any of these will update both the search bar content and our visualized results. Let's switch over to table view. From here, click the three-dot icon of any time column header to find the same list of options. Sometimes, using basic time interval options provide a large amount of return data, as with this example of daily. In many cases like this, it's useful to further refine your results by adding an additional filter. In this case, let's add in a date range of a year, say 2019, to the search bar. The data is updated to only show sales daily for the year of 2019. 2019 is an example of an absolute value. You could also say sales daily last year, and you would get the same exact results since we're doing this search in the present year of 2020. Using the keyword last year makes this a dynamic search, so if we were to save it as an answer or pin it to our pinboard, the showing results would be dependent on the date, specifically the year, that it was being viewed. In 2021, it would automatically reflect the sales data for 2020. Let's look at another use case example using a specific date range with absolute values. Let's say that your company ran a 2-week promotion on all items in the photography department at the beginning of January. To find the total sales during this promotion, let's set up our basic search by entering sales, then department in the search bar. Now, we'll input the date information using the between keyword. Let's first identify the start date by using a single date filter from the data panel. Hover over date and select the filter funnel icon. This filter window provides us with an easy date calendar picker, along with the usual drop-down of conditional options. For now, we'll keep it as the default of greater than or equal to. Click into the date field. Clicking on the arrows will allow you to navigate through the calendar, or click on the name of the month and you can quickly find and select what you need. We'll select January 1st and then just click Done. The results now show all sales data by department for New Year's 2020 and every day after, since we kept the operator of greater than or equal to. Since we want to see sales for the entire date range of the promotion, we'll grow on this search by adding a keyword operator of between. To do this, click on the current operator in the search bar. You will notice that search suggestions will automatically appear, with between showing as one of the options. You can type it out or just select it from this list. Now that the between keyword is in effect, we must follow the search with the range. We'll leave the start date and move to the end of the search phrase. ThoughtSpot automatically recognized the between keyword and is auto-suggesting the next search requirement of and. When using this keyword, the search must follow this logical structure or it won't work. After and, let's input the end date of our promotion, 01/15/2020. Note that the date must follow this format as shown in the search bar. Depending on your ThoughtSpot date configuration, this format may be different, as it is controlled in your account settings by your organization's administrators. The results appear, and we have our promotional sales data. We now have the complete search results available, showing us all sales by department during the duration of our winter promotion. This data can be compared between different departments, other time ranges by year or month, or we can drill down into more granular information, like by store or city, etc., to help gain more insight into the campaign's effectiveness. Another common use case that people often want to know about is finding results that show year-over-year growth. There is a simple way to do this using 2 time intervals together, for monthly and yearly. First, let's input a basic search by typing sales monthly. Now, to see different months compared to each other, we'll add yearly to the search. Using monthly and yearly together like this allows us to compare data and easily see any growth trends. For presentations or visual reference, we recommend displaying this as a visualized line chart like this, as it neatly displays your data with a legend by year. There are many other customization options available here, which are covered in more detail in a later lesson of this learning path. In Table View, you can easily export all of this resulting data by clicking the 3-dot or ellipses icon and selecting one of these available options. Congratulations! You've now completed the time and date filters tutorial.